Hello, and welcome to the Food Adventures channel. I just got back from my trip to China, and I had a wonderful feasting time during Chinese New Year, and we're going to show you how to eat like Chinese royalty. Yes, people, eat like Chinese royalty. So, for like 5 days, I was wined and dined with expensive food and expensive wine, just like how I should be treated every day, basically. And I'm going to show you some of the best pictures of the best food I had. I had so many giant banquets during that time. It was purely awesome. And this is what it's like to dine as fancy Asian type dining. First of all, this is a home cooked meal. This is a home cooked meal, and it is this thing in here is where our focus is, and that, my friends, is basically giant king crab. Now, these aren't the wussy 1 pound crabs you see in the markets. That is a legit 15-pound giant crab that they put in 2 of these trays that we had. It actually tastes a lot like regular crab, but it's a lot bigger, so there's more meat, and you get that more satisfying taste. And it's baked in spices that it makes it extremely delicious. So king crab is the first course. Now we go to a hot pot. And this is not any hot pot. This is a coconut chicken hot pot. That's right. They use coconut water, which gives it a very sweet taste in a hot pot. And combined with the oil of the chicken, it just creates this aroma. And the taste of the soup is unlike anything that you've ever had. Best hot pot, basically, that I've ever had. The coconut chicken, especially the best soup I've had. The chicken was delicious. Whatever the hell this was delicious. And the soup was exquisite. One of the best hot pots I've ever had. Coconut chicken hot pot, people. And the grand meal. This, my friends, is a true Chinese New Year dinner. The way it should be eaten. Now, we had bubble tea too, but that's not really part of the dinner. This is table for 40 people. This is a table for 40 people. And the dishes are basically placed around this round table. The flowers don't get replaced because that's just decoration. But this is fine wine and dining. We have 3 wine cups for 3 different types of wine. I'm going to show you some of the dishes. And yes, if you're wondering, this table was full. And while I was eating, everyone was chatting, toasting. They actually toast to good health like every 5 minutes. So I actually drank more wine than I have in years. That part I didn't really like because I don't really like the taste of strong alcohol by itself. So this is the Chinese wine table. So this is the first dish I'm going to show you. These are giant raw oysters. And this, guys, it's not like peanut butter or butter or anything. That is legitimate foie gras. I actually thought it was like another cheap Chinese thing, but then it tasted a little different. It had like this milky, satisfying taste. And people told me it was actually foie gras in the end. So that is foie gras plus giant clams. Both of them were exquisite in taste. These are giant clam strips. These are not the crappy ones you get at Long John Silver's. These are legit giant clam strips. They taste good. You get so much more meat out of them than like, regular crappy ones you get at Long John Silver's. And they taste different. They have this flavor baked in. And they are so excellent tasting. Giant clam strips, people. Next, we have giant shrimp. Headed shrimp. By the way, shrimp heads are very tasty. Shrimps with heads are much better than shrimps without heads. I ate quite a few of these suckers, and they tasted quite good. Some of the best shrimp I've eaten, and quite good for seafood. I like lobster a lot better, but shrimp will do. You can see the open cantaloupe over here, which is quite nice as well. We have fish. I think this is a delicate fish. The sauce was pretty delicious, and the fish meat itself was very tender, moist, and very succulent. I love this fish. Basically, I had a field day with the fish. It did have some like bones in it, so I didn't eat too much of it. But what I did eat was extremely delicious in this sauce. So this is like a reddish fish in China. It's an expensive type of fish, and it's a very, very tasty type of fish. The last thing I'm going to show of food for this meal is the roast pork. Roast pig with skin. This is some of the most delicious pork I've ever had. The skin is crunchy, the meat basically melts in your mouth, and it even looks like a pig. It is very, very delicious. Obviously, it's not a full pig, but the part that we ate, there was plenty of meat, and it was extremely, extremely succulent meat. This is what you want to have when you have roast pork. I have never actually had roast pork like this until now. Man, that skin was so, so good. And then, last of all, we have the $2,000 bottle of wine. That amount right there, folks, cost probably $50. I did not think much of this wine. I don't actually like strong alcohol. I don't care if it's $20 or $2,000. It still all tastes like crap to me because I don't like the taste of like strong alcohol by itself. But I'm told this was exquisite wine. I think this is like 90 proof or 100 proof. And alcohol that strong, like straight up, I actually don't like, regardless if it costs $2,000 or not. So I was not impressed by the wine, but it was high quality wine. And last of all, this is from another meal. We had this snack. These are little pork things. I think there's mushrooms in them, and they were pretty good. They weren't like extremely tasty, but I thought I'd show you because they're pretty cute. So definitely, this was like a lunch meal that I had. I actually like this meal. Actually, we had pigeon, and like barbecue pigeon is really, really tasty, by the ways. And last of all, of course, any good Chinese restaurant lets you pick your delicious victims and watch them in the tank before you eat them for food. So, excellent view of what you're actually going to eat. Giant crabs and giant lobsters. And we had one of these suckers, and they were good. So that is how you are supposed to eat during Chinese New Year festival. And that's how people always should eat during Chinese New Year festival. So that is today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Any questions you can put in the comments. Thank you and have a nice day.